information? Do you hunger for deeper revelation when nothing else will do? Tune into A Godly Woman's View with Anita C. Spaulding and her anointed panel of godly women who will minister, inspire, and set your soul on fire.
Woo! Yeah!
Watch and listen every Tuesday night from 8:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on blogtalkradio.com/A Godly Woman's View and also on livestream.com/A Godly Woman's View.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it more than you know.
A Godly Woman's View with Anita C. Spaulding.
Good evening. You've just tuned into A Godly Woman's View with Pastor ANITA Spaulding. And I'm excited about this program on tonight because we're going to be talking about faith in the struggle. And we have a phenomenal woman in the backstage by the name of Elder YOLANDA WERTZ. And she is just extraordinary. And I believe that God is going to use her at this time as the founder and the CEO of Repeat Offenders, LLC, to just encourage, uplift, to push those of you that don't know which way to go into your destiny. I see you already coming in, Mother Hayes. God bless you. How are you? So glad to see you today. I see Elder Barbara Dredd, my sister, my friend. She says, good evening, everyone. Awesome to see you. Awesome to see you too. You are so beautiful. All of you that are coming in. Listen, this is going to be a phenomenal time on tonight. And I'm just looking forward to just hearing from our guests on this evening. And those of you that desire to just to know more about A Godly Woman's View, we want you just to stay tuned because you're going to hear some good stuff. Listen, A Godly Woman's View itself is a nonprofit. We have our 501c3. We are just an organization that loves to uplift women, and we are just empowering women from the masses to classes, from the different topics that we have every single week. But we are an organization, we are incorporated, praise God, and we're doing some great things. We give away clothes, food, and whatever we can to enhance somebody. I was just thinking the other day how that I want to do. Find about 5 women and do a makeover for them, take them to a beauty parlor, some that has never been, or even a young lady, because I have a group, or had a group, they're not active right now. It's the Beauty of Holiness Girls. So listen, I want to do some things like that. I'm just looking for the time when we'll be able to just get together, all of A Godly Woman's View. I'm thinking about doing something on Zoom because it's just so hard to get everybody from all over the country just to fly on out. But listen, God is doing some great things and we are glad in it. And he's just awesome. But I have some affirmations that I want you to continue to repeat and to rehearse in your hearing, because it's important to stop walking around like you got your head in the ground and people are putting you down and you're letting them put their foot down on you. Stop letting folk put their foot down on you. What you need to do is to stand up and start confessing the word of God over your life, because you are somebody say, I'm a winner. All right, I say it again, or you could type it in our chat. Or the comments here. God bless you. I see you, Bishop Joyce. Oh, Lewis, God bless you, woman of God. So glad to see you as always. Good evening. I see you, Tahisha Rippey. God, Tisha. Michelle, Susan Coate. Oh my goodness. I thank you. And I thank you for those stars that you continuously give. And I thank God for Mother Hayes and Barbara Dredd and the different ones that give to the Godly Woman's View, make donations, because we do things. And I thank God for your support continuously. I see where you're putting there, Doris P. Robinson, I am a winner. You got to put it and say it until you believe it yourself. We got to believe things ourselves. Lisa Tedesco, God bless you. Here's another affirmation I want you to say, but I'm going to say it slow because it's a little longer. I am powerful. I am powerful, and every day I am stepping into a greater level of strength. All right. Why don't you just put that in the comments? I am powerful. And every day I am stepping into a greater level of strength. Come on, say it again. I am powerful. And every day I am stepping into a greater level of strength. Listen, yes, you are. You are a force to be reckoned with. There's nobody that can reckon with you. Honey, they might think they're that bad, but they're not that bad. You're a force to be reckoned with. You're excellent. You hear what I'm saying? And I'm a woman of excellence, and I do things in excellence. If I can't do it in excellence, guess what? Anita Corinne Southgate Spaulding is just not going to do it. But anyway, you are excellent at the work you do, and you are breaking barriers and taking ground. So the affirmation I want you to remember tonight is I am powerful, and every day I am stepping into a greater level of strength. Yes, you are. Stop acting like you're not worth anything, or you're a little worm in the dust and all that stuff that people saying. You've heard them saying, you be saying it, and you be thinking, yeah, the scripture says that I'm a worm in the dust. No, it does not say that. Oh, God help me, Jesus. But we're not going to go there tonight. But I have my guest in the backstage, and she's getting ready to come out. And her name is Yolanda WERTZ, Elder Yolanda WERTZ. And she's going to tell us about herself. Praise God. I see you, Mother Hayes. Go ahead. Mother Hayes just turned 80 years old. I went to her birthday celebration. I met her on Facebook, y'all. Guess what? And we've been friends for the last 3 years since the COVID or since the pandemic. But Mother Hayes, 80 years old. Listen, when you can impact somebody's life from 8 to 88 or 100, anything on this side of 100 is young anyway. But she says, I am powerful. And every day I'm stepping into a greater level of strength. Y'all got to say this with an attitude. Some people got an attitude, women got an attitude anyway, but they got a nasty attitude. But anyway, but you should have a good attitude like I have a good attitude. Yes, I do. I'm powerful, and every day I am stepping into a greater level of strength. Look at Bishop Joyce Lewis. I believe that she's about 65. Praise God. Bishop, oh my goodness. Listen, but when we can say this, there is nobody that can stop us. See, the devil wants to stop you. And if he can get into your brain and get into your mind, he will go down into your spirit and get into your belly. And then your things be flowing up, not as a living, but as something dead. All right. So let me bring on the stage right now. Oh, she's 70. Oh my God. Oh my good, Letha Veal, how you doing? Oh my goodness, Mother. Oh, Bishop Lewis is 70 years old. Girl, you don't look it. You look great. Praise God. Okay, let's give the drum rolls, or let's just hit the thumbs up or the hearts that's on our machines. Okay, let's just hit those, and we're gonna bring on. Those are the drum rolls. Okay, those are the drum rolls. Here, bringing to the stage is our Elder Yolanda WERTZ. Hey, how you doing?
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. God bless you. You're looking beautiful. I'm loving the glasses.
Thank you.
I love the glasses. You know, some women don't know how to say when another woman looks good. They'll look at them, look them up and down, and roll their eyes and keep on walking. You know why? Because they jealous. It's called jealous. And when they jealous, let me tell you, so jealousy is as cruel as the grave. Folks get ugly when they jealous of you. Honey, they will try to make you look bad in front of your friends, your foes. They will try to make you look bad. They don't care. But let me tell you something. Look, you look good, girl. And all of y'all that I'm
so do you.
We look good, but we got to learn to encourage one another. Right, we have to push one another. I see you, Barbara Dredden. Also, she says, I am powerful, and every day. That's it. You got to say, and every day I'm stepping into a greater level of strength. And we're going to be talking about faith in the struggle. We have our Elder Yolanda WERTZ. Say your last name for me.
Debnam. Debnam.
No, she ain't speaking in tongues. Well, that's her last name. But I see your cousin here. Your cousin is saying, Good evening, cousin Yolanda. Listen, I know she got her fans coming in, so come on in, y'all, and say something to her. You got to come all the way in. You can't sit outside, and she can't see you. But there is Vivian B. Thompson. God bless you, woman. I just met her. She's 82 years old. Wow. I just met her, and she's a Facebook friend, but she's also the sister of Mother Nancy Hayes. I met her Saturday, and she's been a Facebook friend, but I didn't even know that she was a sister. But she said 82. Now look at this, y'all. You know this is bad. She says, I am powerful, and every day, and you got to do it with the neck thing, and every day I'm stepping into greater level. All right. Listen, we want you to just tell us a little bit about yourself, because your bio got messed up in the mix. I don't really want to do your vision and your mission, because we want to talk about you first. The people want to get to know you. So let me ask you a question. Where were you born?
In Newark, New Jersey.
You to who?
To Robert and Geraldine Wertz.
Okay. Now, do you have any siblings?
Yes, I have 8 siblings, and 4 of them are deceased. Wow. So I am the 3rd child out of the 8. I am actually the first girl of my parents to live.
Oh, wow. Well, see, there's already a mandate that was on your life for a while. Yes. Listen, I see Debbie D. Williams is watching. Say, good evening, Pastor Spaulding and Elder Yolanda Wertz. God bless. Praise God. Oh, your sister?
That's not sister? Biological, but yeah, that's my sister through the spirit. I love her. I see a couple of my sisters in here.
Okay, you can call them out. I see Letha Veal.
I see my sister Karen, whom I love. I see my sister Letha. Love you. Definitely my cousin Taisha. We're like sisters than cousins. We grew up together for real.
And I see Shakira Bland. I see Pastor Patrice. God bless you. Pastor Patrice Powell. Oh my goodness. Yes. She's a Deborah Smith McIntry is watching also. Y'all have to come on in so I can put you on this screen so we'll know you're here. Listen, were you ever married?
Yes, I was. I was married in 2003, and I am divorced. My marriage is, and I say this, I wanted to be married. I honestly want to say that when it's not God ordained, it's because what I wanted. It was a struggle. It was a struggle. I felt like my friends was married. I wanted to be that wife that cooked, and I already had a daughter, and so I just did what I wanted to do, and it didn't work, because night and day really don't mix well. It was a lot of struggle, a lot of back and forth. I found myself married and unhappy, and I wanted to make it work because I felt like I owed it to everyone else to make it work. It wasn't even for me. I felt like I was going to disappoint my mother, my brothers, my leadership, my pastors and them. And I didn't want people to feel a certain kind of way. And so I tried to make it work for other people. And that was a struggle. So when it didn't work and I had to abruptly leave my home with just the clothes on my back, I was so embarrassed that I literally slept in my car. I worked at a national rehabilitation hospital in Washington, D.C., because I was in Maryland at the time. And I had access to the inside garage. I would sleep in my car and then go in the hospital like 2 hours before I was to start work. And on the 6th floor, that's where you could, shower and stuff. And I went to work because I was embarrassed. And I just say, wait on God. Wait on God. It is a wait on God, because to be in something and to struggle, and then you're more so concerned about what people, what they think, what they say, and you're not even allowing God to just do what he do. And the one thing about God that I love, even when we go against him, he still loves us. So
Wow.
I just say that even in the midst of me being hard-headed, doing what I literally just doing what Yolanda wanted, I realized that it wounded me more than it would have ever wounded other people, because I was so busy worried about the people. So I thank God that I left peacefully. I didn't make a scene. I didn't do anything because I knew I was wrong. So I even apologized to my ex-husband because I had to be honest to him too. See, sometimes we go, oh, we came out, it didn't work. But we played some part in that didn't work. And we was wrong in it. And so I apologized to him. And because I didn't, that was a soul, still a soul. And I wanted him to know for my wrongdoing. I wanted to let him know that so that he would move forward, still trusting God.
Yes. Oh my goodness. We're talking to Yolanda Wertz. This is her exclusive interview on A Godly Woman's View. And for those of you that are meeting me for the first time, my name is Pastor ANITA C. Spaulding, and I am the CEO and founder of A Godly Woman's View, also pastor of the Ark of Safety Faith Center, and so many other things. But anyway, I thank God for being able to talk to Elder Yolanda about faith in the struggle. And many times, as she was saying, that we make problems for ourselves. We do. But we're talking today about faith in the struggle. Now, I just want you to define faith, if you would, for us.
Not seeing what the outcome is going to be. Not even seeing when you're in it, how God is going to keep you, how he's going to sustain you in that hour. And even saying, oh my God, how are you going to work this out? How are you going to open this door? And yet you remember, I'm walking by faith, not by sight.
Wow,
I'm trusting him totally with all my stuff, all of it. And so when I get up, I say this is a part of my prayer. God, I don't even know what today is. All I know is that you woke me up. So you're going to get me through whatever happens. You're going to make a way out of nowhere, and you're going to provide. So when I think of faith, I think of, I don't see it, but I believe it.
And you know what? That is good, but everybody can't do that. Because they're walking by what they see, by what they feel, all of the senses. But I hear you saying you walk by faith. And I want to ask you this question. I see so many that are coming on. God bless you, my sister. God bless. From, I always mess where you're from, Iowa, somewhere. I'm sorry, girl. Minnesota. Pastor Diane Daniels, she says, blessings to Pastor ANITA Spaulding and everyone, but she really is a friend. And I see my other friend, Evangelist Melissa Sands from Maryland, who surprised us last week in Washington. Oh my God, she shocked the socks off me. She says, greetings, Pastor ANITA Spaulding and your guest. I see my God sister, who just came in, Pastor Laura Jackson. God bless you, girl. How you doing?
That's my godmother.
Oh, okay. So I must be your God aunt.
There it is. I'll take it.
And Pastor Daniel says, I don't see it, but I believe it. You know, and that's the whole thing. We have to believe it. And we're talking about sometimes the struggle seems, you could answer this. Does the struggle seem, St. Louis, Missouri, you're from? Okay, I'll get it right. You know, girl. I'm getting older. No, I'm getting smarter. But I don't know. Anyway, but sometimes people magnify the struggle that they're going through and forget all of the scriptures. But there are some things that you've gone through in your life. What made, let's just go back a little bit, because we want to bring in the repeat offender. Okay. Yes. I loved when you explained it at your conference, which was dynamic a few weeks ago, that I was in the privilege of attending. I loved it. But you were talking about a repeat offender. So what do you actually mean about that? What do you mean?
Okay, so a couple of years ago, and I'm going back to 2015. I was asleep, and I woke up, but when I sat up, I saw a casket, but it was in a courtroom. And when I went up to the casket, and my brother was in it, but he had handcuffs on. And I said, Lord, what is this? I got nervous because I thought I was seeing him either dead or locked up. And the Lord said to me, you are a repeat offender. And when people hear that, the first thing they think is either drugs, you've been, or alcohol or whatever.
You've been locked up.
Yeah, and you've been locked up. So
yes,
I began to look at my life, and I realized that I was not just a repeat offender, but a bad one. And so he began to show me, like, you always telling lies to cover up something because you don't want to deal with the real issue. So that's a repeat offender. I was horrible with finances. Oh my God. My thing was my mom got me. So if I don't pay my rent, mommy coming through. Mommy, because she gonna make sure that I don't get put out, and she don't care how she get it. So I would go to the store and buy the shoes and the dress, because I wanted to be a certain way, walked in the church, had to look like this. But I was walking in as a repeat offender because my bills were not paid. I was borrowing from people because I shopped with my money and then was weighing other people down with, can you help me? Can you help me? And one thing about a repeat offender, they are very well in playing victim. So, or they know they begin the story that they begin with, and you can almost tell it because they've told it so many times. So that was me. That was Yolanda. And the Lord said to me, this is going to be your ministry, but not till you're completely delivered. And so at the time, I was nowhere near deliverance. I was still trying to see how I was going to get some cash out of somebody. And so when God gave me that, I am the example, because I can tell my story, because I'm really am healed. I really am delivered. But it took to get with here's the thing about a repeat offender, and it's hard to get delivered because you don't have that safe haven. So you go to someone and you're telling them, this is my struggle. And now everybody knows what you're going through because that wasn't a safe haven. So I sat on the couch and I said, God, just give me one person that loves me enough to cover me so I can get healed, so I can get delivered and set free from these spirits, because I know that you have a plan for my life. I know that I'm anointed. I know you called me, but my struggles, they're overwhelming, and I need that safe haven because I need deliverance. And there's no way that I can minister. We minister to people and we're not delivered. And we're telling them don't do what we're doing. So repeat offender is from me, and God gave me that. My pastor, Pastor Donna Farrar Warren, who I do honor on tonight, and the first gentleman, she said, I am going to cover you in private. I'm going to cover you in public, and I'm going to deal with you in private. And she said, I gotta put you in a sabbatical mode so your deliverance will come. She didn't play no games. She was tough. And some days I didn't like her. I was like, I don't like this lady Jesus. She would drop me off on the curb and say, get out of my car. Shame on the mess. When you're ready, see me again.
Now let me say this. Let me ask you this question. So a repeat offender is someone that is addicted. They have an addiction. Yeah. But see, we look at it, many look at it as addicted to drugs, to sex, addicted to whatever. But I'm going to say I was a repeat offender too, because I love to buy stuff, run up my charge cards just to go to the store, and they have, you could get a charge card, and I would just get it to see if I could get it. I was about 18, 19, 20, but nobody told me I had to pay for it after. but I was a repeat offender.
You gotta still
and I
pay the
messed
bill.
up my credit, messed up my credit totally. I couldn't do anything. You can't even buy a piece of chewing gum if you don't have that. If you're maxed out on your credit cards, I had maxed them all out. I'm telling you. And then when I met Bishop Spaulding, he had 750 credit score, but he didn't know my credit score. So I'm saying to all of y'all, if you're getting ready to get married, you need to run a credit report. You had to do a credit check on the folks. See what their credit score is. But my credit score was not good. So guess what? Because I was an offender of finances, and because I like nice things and I wanted more and all that kind of, I didn't want to look bad and I didn't want to not have. And what I did, I went and when we got married, got charge cards in his name that he didn't even know. And he was like,
I did that too.
This ain't my card. It came, you got one. I said, oh, yeah, they sent you one too and me one. But I didn't tell them how they sent a one because I requested through his name. And I got charge cards, and then I ran all of his stuff. And when I ran his, he was because he doesn't use credit. He doesn't use cards. He just doesn't. He believes in paying cash. Ran his all up. But then we got back into place where we wanted to purchase a house and all that. So I started working on it. But let me ask you a question. You said that deliverance is healing. So talk a little bit about the deliverance process that you had to go through in order to destroy this yoke of bondage.
Mm-hmm. So basically for me, it's a daily process. Every day I get up, I have a list of the things that God has delivered me from. And when I was going through my deliverance, every day I would take on something. Today, I'm going to tell it like it happened. I don't care if it's ugly, bad, or sad. I may lose some relationship behind it, but I'm going to be real. And I began to just be real. That was step one. Being real was really hard, because I had put on a facade so long because I didn't want people to know that I was struggling with that addiction that was causing me. And when people love you and then they find out you're not who you are, it don't just hurt you. We somewhere they don't talk to them more. They hurt. Because you have not been real with them and they loved you. But this is the piece when people really love you and you start to come clean, you realize that these people really love you. They love you. And so every day I got up, I worked on it. It's like today, some bill collector called me and I was good for saying, oh, don't worry, Friday. Everything was Friday. Just ain't gonna get no money Friday. But everything was Friday. So yeah, Friday. Don't worry. Friday.
I don't mean to laugh, but I understand.
So, are you gonna pay the Yeah, oh no, because I'm good for that. And then they would say, are you gonna pay the past due and the new one that's on it? Oh yes. Okay. And I know I was lying, so I'm lying, what is a repeat, and I'm saying stuff that you know you ain't doing. And so I did that. And I got to the point when they called and I was keeping it real. I had a lady, I said, I don't have it. I said, I'm out of work now. And she said, well, I said, yes, I made that bill. I said, this is it. This is what it is. I said, I really don't know what I'm going to do right now. I said, but when I get the money, I'm going to do what I can do. She asked me this question. She said, well, when can we expect it? I said, you can expect it whenever you want to expect it. But what I'm saying to you is this what I have. So I learned how to be real. Then I started dealing with the issue of low self-esteem. Because you want to be popular. You want to make people laugh.
Yolanda, take your time talking about that low self-esteem, because people, even though you're saved, sanctified, and even filled with the Holy Ghost, there's times that the enemy tries to take and place you into that arena of low self-esteem. Talk about that a little bit to us.
Yes. And so with me, it was for me, it was my weight, Even just people, it's like I always felt like people only was around me when they needed me to do something.
Right,
Not just
exactly.
to hang out with me, not just to, accept me. So what I did was I reversed it, because growing up, I had certain cousins that gave me the nickname Miss Piggy. And so what they would do, I would be coming towards my grandmother's house, and I would hear them yelling, "Here come Miss Piggy, Grandma." And so after a
Wow.
while, you develop this thing. And so I developed this mechanism. I became a great jokester. I really can make people laugh at a drop of a dime. But now it's from a good place. But I said, oh, before they get the joking, I'm going to crack on me. So I would come in. That's right, fat girls in effect with a chicken. So I reversed it, but on the inside, the hurt. Oh my God. You feeling like, listen, do anybody just see you? Because they see
Right,
you big. But
right.
they see, and girl, I don't know how you carry that weight. I don't know how you did. I worked extra hard to let them know that big girls can handle it. So everything I did was to block my tears. So I laughed a lot. But man, I could go home. I have went home from church services and cried like a baby, because I know what people said. They said it when I was out the kitchen. I know what they said in my face. And then you always have that one beautiful old mother that don't care what they say, but you
Oh my
got to
God.
respect and love them. Listen, in this day and time, y'all crazy, because the mothers used to beat us in the sanctuary. They did not care. So you always had that mother, girl, you need to stop eating. You need to back up from the table.
Yes, they
And
would.
she's right there. You got the, oh, come on now. They talk like that.
Oh,
So low
Jesus.
self-esteem make you do stuff. Low self-esteem make you become that single mother, because that boy just said something right to you. That boy don't love you. He don't even know what love is, and you have no idea what it feels like, because you never experienced it from that age. So you get that boy, and you are so big. I love big women, So here I go. Now I'm 14 and I'm pregnant, and now Joker don't answer the phone no more. And he got them parents that saying, well, I mean, what you want me to do? So low self-esteem
Whoa.
for a girl is much harder. It's harder because you're putting on clothes, you're trying to look the part, you look good, and but they don't see the inside of you that is more beautiful than what you're doing on the outside. And so you just kind of walk around and you smile and you laugh, but you are broken, you are wounded. You start to become somebody that you never wanted to be. I promise you that. You start to be that person that let people walk over you. You start to be that person that do for people no matter what. You be that person, they got you ripping and running, you helping them in the background, and then they get out and they don't even call your name. That's not why we do stuff, but they don't even remember you. Now they have parties. You are the cleanup committee. You're never that person that just sit down. So you develop that mechanism. And then,
Right.
and my mother would always say, just be nice. It's nice to be nice. And I'm saying, okay. So now I develop another kind of skill, because I got to get through school. And getting through school is real hard, because when you in school and you 13 and everybody calling you fat so and they picking on you, now you got to, and listen, people laugh. I ain't no fighter, Pastor Spaulding, but I had a mouth that'll scare the rats out of the chicken. So I used my mouth to survive. I was like,
Right.
oh, you could come see me. And I'm saying, Lord, please don't let them come see me, because they going to tear me down, because I wasn't that person. But I had siblings that I just spoke the word. And so I talk junk, and then I'll be like, here come my sister Stephanie. What? So you develop that because you're trying to get through school. Everybody picks on you. Everybody. Them things ain't fake. Yeah, I've carried school books for people because I want, and they don't like you. They like that they can use you. So now you're in the church. You're doing everything you do is because you don't even love you. You don't even like you. You go home, you try, you shop. Talk about them credit cards. Man, I had credit cards in my mother's name and she didn't even know. All I needed was her social security number. Yeah. So, and my mother said one day, and I knew I was going to get the mail. And one day, it didn't work out like that. So my mother was sitting at the table, and when I came in, and Alice Works didn't play no games. She said, You be looking real good. And every time I ask you, somebody blessed you. I am the somebody. And she said, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get killed. And I'm used to my mother banging on me because she didn't like. And she said to me, she said, Yolanda, I'm leaving you in God's hands. She said, because I really don't know what to do with you. And she said, I'm tired of you. She said, you climbing out of windows, going down fire escapes. Yes, going to parties, trying to fit in. And she said, you wasn't created for that. And so now I'm pregnant. I ain't telling my mother. I'm asking everybody, what do you do? Because this boy ain't going to do nothing. And I came home one day. The old people knew when you was pregnant. They knew. I don't know. I don't even know if it was God or whatever. So somebody called my mother and said, Yolanda's pregnant. When I got home, I thought my mother was going to kill me. And she just said, I love you. She said, you've stepped into something that you are not ready for. She said, but you will be a mother and you will finish school. I dropped out of school because I was 14. You couldn't go to school pregnant. So now you have to go to these classes on the side. So I wanted the pastor to get a GED. I had a baby. I had a little girl. I ain't like that baby because her father wasn't around. So my oldest daughter, she went through a lot. I ain't like that baby. I'm not gonna, because I'm sitting here and she used to cry and I used to shake her like rocking her. And my mother said to me, you're gonna raise that baby right. And so my mother, if it had not been for my mother, Sadara, she would have been so much in a turmoil because I was angry. And see, they didn't play them games. You didn't go to church. They ain't giving you no baby shower. The mothers came to me and said,
That's right.
you better get your life right.
You better stop.
You're going to hell if you don't.
They sure didn't give no baby shower at all.
Right. But they handed me a bag with stuff in there for the baby. And they said to me, they said, we're going to help you not do it again. And they didn't lie because every shut-in they had me and that baby in. They would come and they'd be blowing a horn and I'd be sitting at the window. I ain't going tonight. Ain't that much. But honey, my mother would open that door and say, you're getting up out of here. And it saved my life because I started to look at my oldest daughter so much differently. And my oldest daughter will be getting her double masters in May. So to God be the glory. She is the assistant to the CEO in the finance department at William Patterson College.
Isn't that
girl
something?
Has done. Look what God can do. Look what God can do. So I learned and I stayed under the church. I am old school because the mothers, they came to pick me up to go food shopping. They just kept me and they kept me in a place of deliverance. I warred with them. Some days. Listen, I had a mother grab me in my collar and say, oh, you thought because you had a baby you was grown? And I'm sitting there like, mommy, look what they doing. And my mother walked past me because the church really did rally and raise everybody children in the day. So I'm alive today and my self-esteem, God, when he delivered me from that, it was so nice. People say, oh, you don't look good in red. I said, I ain't wearing for you. I like red. I understand, but this is me. Oh, your glasses. Why you buying all them designer glasses? I said, I am blind. And I said, my mother kept me in one pair of brown glasses. I promise God and a couple of more people, if I ever get the chance, I'm going to wear glasses like I want to because I'm going to be cute and blind. And I'm going to see good, looking good at it. When I tell people, oh, I look good. So it's not even about being cocky. It's about encouraging yourself. You got to do that, ladies and gentlemen. You love you.
Elder Yolanda, we're talking to her. She is just a gospel icon, powerful, anointed woman of God. I'm telling you. And when the Lord dropped it in my spirit to interview her about faith in the struggle, and I loved what I heard about her organization, Repeat Offenders. And when she explained what it was, I was just blown away. And matter of fact, I spoke to Bishop Spaulding yesterday about it. And I said, honey, listen to this, what she says, what a repeat offender is. I says, I know we go right to, we think it's somebody that's out of jail, and then they recommit and they go back in jail, they come out, they go back, so they're repeating. But I says, this woman, she really explains it. I see all of those of you that are coming in. Karen Kitchens, God bless you. Cynthia Houghton, she shared it. Listen, those of you that's watching, we want you to help us to build the audience by sharing, because you really care. We see Arlene Burgess, who's also watching. Norvan Maxwell. God bless you, nephew. Glad to see you. And there's so many of you that are coming. I seen Overseer Douglas, Loretta Douglas, a friend of mine from out west too. Look like I have all the people out west coming on tonight. God bless y'all. I know y'all, but I met them all on Facebook.
Amen.
But they're great supporters, of what I'm doing. And I'm sorry, that I didn't meet them sooner, but I'm glad I met them now. But Overseer Loretta Douglas says, I'm so sorry to hear that you've been through so much. She's talking to you. And listen, but God has brought you through. We see Tanisha A. Robinson says,
she's another sister from our church. Yes.
She's sending love. Debbie Williams, yes, she is glory to God. Glory to God. So there's so many that are watching, but your story, it sounds so familiar to my story.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I got a new nephew. Thank you, nephew. I honor you too. But you know what? You have to be good within yourself, and people see you and they don't really know what you're going through, because there's been times I've been like you. I withdrew, withdraw. Went back into being an introvert, because I said I didn't want people to see what I was really feeling, how it really was, that, and because listening to people, you fat, you ugly, you too black, you can't hang with us. And this is preachers, making me feel, because they light skin with long hair and they all got, they Coca-Cola shake bottles. I don't have a problem with that. Gym now, but the thing is that and people calling you fat, and who want to hear that? You too fat to wear that. Oh my goodness. And you don't want to hear those things. You want to fit in. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I want to fit in. There's not I have friends, thank God, but a lot of them not around New Jersey. That I can hang out. I was just telling the sister, she's not from around here. She's from Delaware. I says, I don't really have anybody in Jersey that I can just hang with. Girl, come on, let's go to. I just don't have it. I mean, I have a lot of friends. I'm not saying that, but it's just that, maybe I don't know. I don't know, but maybe I'm not that cup of tea. So sometimes that would put me into that mode of not feeling worthy or have low self-esteem. Now, it's I see Tyresha, she says, I love you. Oh, thank you. I love your ministry, Pastor Spaulding. I try to watch it as often as I can. You're so sweet. I always hear sweet people. That's what I'm saying. We're reaching the masses and classes of people. But Elder Yolanda, you are somebody special. I'm telling you, you're unique and you're touching so many lives. And it's so important to recognize. See, this is y'all that's watching. You got to recognize yourself.
Yes.
Who you are, who you really are, what you are really about. I see what you're saying, Overseer Douglas. She says, yes, Pastor Anita. Okay, I got a new name, Anita C. Spaulding. Rejection taken in is a killer. And that's many times I felt, and you felt that way. And some of y'all have felt that rejection. Man, when I'm getting to feeling like people rejecting me, I'm gonna strike out. I'm gonna say, girl, goodbye. Bye, goodbye. Go somewhere, sit down, go to sleep. Happy birthday to you and all that. Bye. But this is because you're rejecting me, and I worked so hard on me. I'm telling you, even now, I work hard on trying to be better, because I want to be better to help other people, and I like what Vaughn says. He says, my new nephew, he says, be proud of who you are. and who God called you to be. Are
Right.
y'all here?
That
I'm telling
right
you,
there.
and see Janelle Tinsley
Yes,
York.
that's my girl, Pastor Janelle York. She is amazing. I'm gonna tell you something about when God give you a team, they push you to the next level where God is taking you. Now, Pastor Bishop and Pastor Laura Jackson, let me tell you something about Carswell and Laura. They don't accept the word no or I can't. They was the beginning stage of building. God used Pastor Donna to get me from a unhealed place to a healed place. And in the process, the scripture says the Bible was healed as they went. And as I started journeying back into where God was taking me, these people just locked me in. Great damn morning. I get excited when I think about it because I don't care. They be like, girl, you got this. And I would call, I say, listen, mom, I'm over them. Cause boom, boom, boom. And you know how we get. Cause now we won't say it to them, but we gonna tell who we can talk to. We take all our frustration out and I was like, I'm sick and tired of people. I'm the next time. And they was like, let me tell you, silence is a weapon. Silence is a weapon because I promise you, the enemy don't like when he don't know where you're going and what you're doing. So he's going to sin. The enemy's slow, so he's going to sin. I tell people retarded spirits is retarded. So they'll come at you with the stuff that used to tear you down. And when you respond differently, oh my God, Pastor York, I'll be like, yo, this, and this. And Karen, such and so and so. These are elders and pastors. And they be like, be quiet. Oh, they can say what they want to me and I can't respond. Be quiet. Let God do what you're doing. Just let God keep moving you. And when I became comfortable in the skin that I was in, see, you can lose weight. I had the gastro bypass. Now, let me tell you, people say they get it because they wanted to look better. I wanted to live. At the time that I got the gastro bypass, which was 2003, I did not even know I was dealing with high blood pressure or sugar diabetes. I was working for Blue Cross and Blue Shield, and I didn't like going to work. So they had a health fair. And if you go to the health fair, you still get paid. So I went down there because I didn't want to work. So the guy said, sit down, let me take your blood pressure. Let me take your thing. And so he looked at me. He said, are you okay? And I said, yeah, why? He said, well, we've called the paramedics. He said, you're at stroke level. I said, I have no stroke. He said, I believe that your body has gotten to the place where it's used to be in that stroke level. Wow. He said, I cannot. So I was like, no, I don't want to go. They started giving me something that you put in your mouth and it kind of like aspirin or something. He said, and my sugar was 3 something. I remember it. And they just started working on me. And then, when people say you're sick, then you start to feel sick. And I was like, I was fine until y'all started. Right. I laid in a hospital. They had stuff coming to me. And he said, if we don't get something down, we're going to have problems. I was at that point, I was 385 then. And I've learned how to deal with weight and stress and low self-esteem. And you're compounding all of that. People are not dying really from health issues. It's the struggle of not allowing your faith to work for you, not loving you enough. And when I laid in the hospital, I had no choice but to tap in to faith. And I said, God, this struggle is my daughter is 8 years old. I said, I need you like never before. And I began to trust God on a level that nobody had a clue. I didn't even know it was in me. And every day they said one thing, and I said, God's going to change it. They said, you're going to be a diabetic. I said, God's going to change it. I said, I'm telling you, through the struggle, if you really trust God with faith, he will do it. I was in the hospital for 12 days. And when I left there with 5 prescriptions. Let me tell you something. I took those prescriptions for 3 months. The doctor gave me an ultimatum. My primary doctor said, you need the gastro bypass, or he said, I really need you to stop eating everything. He said, and I'm looking and I'm saying, oh God, oh God. And so it took me 2 months. I studied what the surgery was. I read into it. I didn't just say, oh, I didn't want to be skinny. I wanted to live. It's a difference. It's a difference. And they told me what can happen. Oh, you can die on a table if a blood clot develop. And I was in the line. There were 2 doctors. Let me tell you, hear God when God is speaking to you. And I'm being very quick with this piece. I was in the line because I went to the seminar, and that's when you sign up with the doctor that you want to do it. So one doctor was so popular. Oh my God, his line was out the door. So I was in that line, and the Lord said, move to this line. I said, Jesus, is only 4 people over there. That doctor, oh Lord, he's from India. He might not like me. I was like, no. The Lord said, move to this line. All of a sudden, faith kicked in. I shifted. When I got up to the table, and I call his name, Dr. Trevetti, we are still in connection to this day. And I had that surgery in 2003. He said to me these words. He said, I'm not popular. He said, but I know what I'm doing. He said, I am going to make sure. And he said, I'm going to make sure you live and you do not die. Listen, that's all that man had to say to me. When I got ready for surgery, he had 3 things that he needed not to forget. I must lay hands on an anesthesia person. I have to lay hands on him and anybody that's doing IV. I said, please, sir. That's awesome. So they were like, we got to put you under. It's a certain time. I said, nobody's putting me to sleep till I pray for this man. He came, I heard him running down the hall. He said, I'm here. Say what you want to say. He said, she's got to talk to God. And I laid my hands on that man. Oh, my God. You direct him. I said, and Lord, if I don't wake up, you deal with him. Yes, I did. And from that day, when I woke up, he looked in my face. He said, God did it. He said, he got you through. And I looked at him. I said, you a blessed man of God. So for me, listen, ain't no shame in my game. Because I was like, if I don't wake up, listen, who tells the doctor if I don't wake up, I'm going to get you? Yolanda. So that wasn't a weight loss, but the Lord began to heal my body. I didn't have to take insulin. I didn't have to take blood pressure pills. And you know, your mindset. This is what I tell people, because people are getting that surgery for all kinds of reasons. You have to have a mindset, because your mindset don't change. So they kept telling me, you can't eat, you can't eat. And so when you go to eat, oh, I'm greedy. Let me tell you, I'm greedy. So I'm go, and then I'm in pain. I'm rolling down the street, just throwing up. Oh, you gonna be all right, miss? Yeah, I just ate too much. I had to train my mind to help my body. So this weight loss for me, when it goes up and down, it never bothers me, because it's a mindset, and I know when to kick back in. So you got to have a mindset. So I thank God, because when my mom and my brother passed July 2020, my mother was already in the hospital, and we had just found out that she had some major issues with her kidneys, and she was in New York. So when I got a phone call and they said, I'm sorry to inform you, I screamed. I knew it was my mother, but it was my baby brother.
Oh, Jesus.
That thing tore me up. I said, wait a minute, hold up. Because I had just spoken to him. He had to have a stent put in. My baby brother stroked out about in 2014 or 15. And he was in Georgia. And I worked for a National Rehabilitation Hospital at the time. I went in the office and I said, I don't know if I'm going to get fired today. I said, but I got a call, and they said my brother is stroked. I'm gone. I was in Maryland. He lived in Georgia. I drove. My oldest brother said, wait for me. I said, nope, you take a plane to meet me there because I'm gone. I went down there and my brother's face was twisted all the way to another side. And I remember when I walked in that room, I said, James, do you know who I am? And his eye blinked and a tear rolled down. And I said, let me say something. I said, God is going to heal you. He's going to deliver you, and you will live and you shall not die. They said to me, Miss, you can't stay in this hospital. He was working for Home Depot at the time. And I didn't know that he had lost his job. So it was a whole, I didn't know. So this girl that was connected to him was trying to tell me. And she said, and I said, okay, just give me the rundown. So I grabbed my brother's face and I looked him in the one eye that would open. I said, I'm here. And I said, ain't no devil in hell gonna tell me you gonna die. And they said to me, I said, I am not leaving this hospital without my brother. They said, you can't stay here. They said, I went in the conference room. They said, the chief of staff is coming down. Do boom, 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 boom. I was in the landing. Let me tell you, y'all, I'm a crazy little girl. I stood on top of the table. I said, I'm not leaving this hospital without my brother. I said, I will take care of him. My brother was in the hospital for 1 month. I never left that hospital. When my oldest brother got there, he said, what are you going to do? I said, oh, no. I said, but I ain't leaving. I washed my brother every day. I didn't allow anyone to take care of him. It was around Christmas time. Wow. I decorated his room. I kept speaking life into him. I put pictures up of all of us. I said, this is your family. My mother eventually came down. My mother said, I can't do this. I said, I got this. My mother, she couldn't stand. So they said, well, he has no insurance. And so we're going to fight for his disability. I got a lady in the room. She said, if he blinks when you say that you want power of attorney, she said to me, then we'll accept it. I said, James Edward Jackson Jr., do you want me to take control of everything that concerns you? He blinked twice. I said, baby, sign that paper. She said, you got it. I said, and listen, don't mess with my family. Don't mess with my family, because that's when you see Yolanda real. I said to the girl, I said, where's his wife? What's going on? She said, that's a whole nother story. Let me tell you something. My faith kicked in. When she called and she said, this is Sheila. She thought it was James. She said, what we going to do about this baby? How are we going to take care? Are you going to get disability? I said, I'm in control now. She said, who is this? I said, your worst nightmare. I said, listen to me. This boy can't even speak. I could care less about disability. I said, my brother's going to live, and I advise you and admonish you to not do this right now. She said, oh my God. And she said, well, I'm his wife. I said, baby, I'm power of attorney. It wasn't that I was trying to overrule anybody. I didn't know that they were not together. So when I'm brought up to date, my concern is to get him well. Wow. The nurses was like, oh my God. Da, 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 da. I don't know if you ever seen the movie when they were so glad that little boy left, Problem Child. They had balloons and celebration. When me and my brother left out of that hospital, his face was turned back straight. Because every day I massaged it as the Lord told me. The Lord said, anoint him. Christmas time, I had gifts under the tree for him. We was in there. We were celebrating his life. They would come in there and say, oh my God, he smells so good. He don't have bed sores. Oh, he got on cologne. I said, well, he don't want to wear no hospital robe. And every day, therapy came in, and I would just anoint his legs. And I said, you can do this. Yeah, he wasn't walking. When we left that hospital, they said, you're going to another place. He said, we prepared them. They have a room for you. You're going to even have your own sleeping quarters. I would get in the shower with him and get soaking wet. And he would say to me, he said, I never wanted my sister to have to wash me. I said, better me than the other women that don't know you. I said, I've been seeing this thing for a long time. I said, you good. I said, I'm your sister. And I would get drenched, but I got in that shower with my brother. And I washed him thoroughly. And I didn't care nothing. And they would come in the room and they would be like, oh, I don't know. Everything in this room was decorated. When he woke up, he saw his family. And that gave him life. His daughter, his oldest daughter, would come up on the weekend. And we would be in that room sleeping. And we would talk and we would laugh. And then he started speaking again. Faith is something else. Faith is something else.
Yes.
They said he'll never walk again. They said he would never talk again. He did everything. And he outlived 2020.
Wow.
And I had to make a decision that he had to be ready because that broke my heart. That was my favorite baby brother. That's how I have to say it so the other brothers don't get mad. My favorite. And I love that boy life. And to have to run to the hospital, Faith. And I had to say to my cousin Keith, which is my cousin Taisha's father, he watched my mother in New York. He stayed with her because there were days when we couldn't get there. Now we got to tell my mother, your baby son is dead. And it's nothing we can do because you got to get a team of doctors to get everybody around. And I looked at my mother and I said, Mommy, James is gone. And she said, God, where? And I said, he passed away. And she said, evidently, God was ready for him. Because God wouldn't just take my baby, knowing how much I love him. And my mother did so well. They kept checking her blood pressure. Nothing excelled. Nothing went up. And so my brother, my oldest brother, had to be there for the funeral. Because once we told my mother, then we could move forward. And I bless God because she was streamlined in. And my brother was at the hospital with her. And I dressed her up. And she said, I said, Ma, you already know me. My mother is plain Jane. She don't care nothing. She said, all you need is the pearls on your neck and everything is pretty. So my mother didn't care what you put on as long as you put some pearls on her. And that was it. And so you finish that and listen. I brought my mother home in August because the doctors called us up and they said in the room, if she lives 6 months, she's doing good.
Wow.
And I had to be strong. I had to look my mother in the eyes, and my mother just looked at me with her hands over her mouth like this. And my grandmother, her mother we had her on speakerphone. And I never forget, my grandmother said, Jerry, you are my firstborn. She said, and God knows I asked God not to let me bury my children. She said, but I believe this in my heart. He makes no mistakes and he loses no cases. So the doctor says 6 months. God can make it 6 years. I don't know. She said, but know that your mother loves you.
Wow.
I looked at my mother. I said, well, guess what we going to do? I said, we going to concentrate on life. We ain't going to worry about what they said. And the doctor said, do you want to take her home? I said, oh, she going home. My mom's going home. I brought my mother home. And listen, I slept down the stairs on the couch and she was in the bed. Listen, I never fell down them stairs, but I always fell up. Yolanda! That's how she would yell my name. And I would be running up the stairs, fall up the stairs. She said, you fell up the stairs? I said, yeah. She said, because you're big. And we would laugh. Me and my mother had a not good relationship. And in the last days, we bonded because I always felt like my mother did always told everybody everything about me. But my mother loved me. She just wanted me delivered. And she said, Yolanda, if you don't do nothing else, she said, I know that you're anointed to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. And you're anointed to cover leadership. She said, you are an armor bearer. She began to pour into me. She said, but I need you to live right. She said, if you don't live right, she said, you're going to hell. And she said, I need you to live right. My mother didn't have to say another word to me because I knew what she meant. And we just began to minister to each other different ways. I would sit in her room at night, and some nights she said, "You're making me go back to the hospital. You don't want me here." I said, "Mommy," I said, "I take no stuff for granted." I said, "When you say you can't breathe or you don't know the pain," I said, "Mommy, I can't just say it's okay." So I would be rushing her back and forth to the hospital. And every day, so she got upset and she would call her pastor and she said, "She don't want me home. Bring me home." So they brought my mother home. And this last time God said to me, "Just stop. Just stop." And I said, "Okay, God." So my mother, I was helping her up the stairs, and she was leaning on me. And I said, "Mommy," I said, "you better not die in this house." She said, "I ain't gonna die. I ain't gonna die." Cool. I was with my girlfriend, Karen. You remember you called Karen Kitchen's name?
Yes, yes.
Karen Kitchen's mom had passed away 2 days prior to October the 10th. And so I was serving her family, cooking for her family. My mother called me. She was in a hospital. I said, "What's up, Mommy?" Listen to this. She said, "I just want some turkey wings, some cabbage and rice. And if they got a piece of fish." Everything she wanted was in Karen's house. And normally I go, "No, Ma, you can't eat that." But the Lord was saying to me, and I heard it, "Give it to her." Because my brother called me and said, we rushed Mommy back to the hospital because the catheter they put in, it was bleeding. I got to the hospital with the food, and I started to wash her. The aide came in and said, "Oh, I'm about to do that." I said, "My mom has boop on her." And I said, "If you were about to do it, it would have been done." I said, "But sweetheart, this is my mom. I got it. No love lost." So I got my mother clean and got her dressed, and she began to eat. My mother was eating so good, and we was just laughing and talking about boom, boom, boom. And she was like, "Oh, you bought me cornbread." She said, so I got her already, and I put her phone by her. And I was walking out the door, and she said to me, she said, "Oh, tomorrow, since you're doing it, maybe a pork chop." I turned around and said, "Girl, bye." And like that. When I got
Oh
home,
my goodness, this is so awesome. We're gonna be going on 2 hours, but
right,
I just love hearing you talk because you're just encouraging so many that are watching on today, because there is deliverance that
yeah,
people need to be delivered, need to be healed, and you
right.
have the faith, and you I mean, you struggled with a lot of things and for other people, but you still had the faith to stand. Just listening to you talk about your brother and your mother and in your
Yeah,
family, how you just stuck it out, and your brother lived as long as he did because of your faith. I believe that, and
right,
your mom
right,
also. And
right.
I have someone here, Arlene Burgess. She says that I'm going through that right now with my 8-year-old granddaughter right now. Keep her in prayer, please. So we want to keep Arlene Burgess's granddaughter in prayer, but we're going to have to
In
go off.
prayer.
I just let
Yes.
you talk. But I had so many questions, but I don't, sometimes I'm just being led by the Spirit of the Lord, because we needed to hear what you had to say in order to explain to us what the repeat offender is. And even though I just want to read this to you, y'all, that a
Yes.
repeat offender, what Yolanda is saying, although birthed in my mind many years before, I verbalized to Loretta Hall my desire
Yes.
to build this platform that would help people. The mission is a platform of services to support people suffering challenging life cycles to get out of the cycle and on to healing. Why repeat offender? We often repeat the same things because we do not see anything wrong with it. We
Mm-hmm.
often do the same things because we want to become comfortable with being an offender. The vision of the repeat offender is to help people out of their place of offending through health awareness, wealth, education, and spiritual maturity. This will be achieved through conferences, luncheons, a cinematic education, CDs, and books, all branded under the logo of the repeat offender. So I am certainly glad, and many that have watched tonight, if you have enjoyed it, we want you to hit those thumbs up and those what is that, hearts. We have so many that have said that they've enjoyed you and enjoyed what you've said, because I know it's helped me. Deliverance and I'm learning how to be delivered from myself. And that's many times we need to be delivered from ourselves. Stella Daniels Boyd is also watching, or was watching.
Yes,
Thelma
mother.
Cinder,
Yes.
Oliver watching. If I didn't call your name, it's because they've strolled by so fast. Loretta Hall, and I
Yes,
tell
Pastor
you,
Loretta Hall.
Pastor Loretta Hall.
No, I was just saying, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I don't see your titles, but
no, that's fine.
We want to continue to keep y'all in prayer and keep Elder Yolanda Wertz in prayer, because I tell you, she is awesome, and she means what she says. Now, you could tell us where they can see you, because I watch her sometimes on I think she sometimes comes on the New Normal, and she has her program there, or
Yes.
Godly Woman's View. But we want you to tell them where they can reach you, and when your program takes place. All right. I hate to cut you off because it was so good.
I know.
But,
I'm so sorry. I hope I touched.
No, you did what you
I hope
did.
I touched. Okay. Okay.
Don't
So
hope
repeat
nothing.
offender. Okay. Yes, ma'am. So repeat offender. I'm on every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. It's a 30-minute thing, and I just try to deal with real life. I don't sugarcoat anything, because deliverance and when you have faith in your struggle, you got to tell the truth. This is my struggle. This is where I am. And I thank God repeat offender is a safe haven. I tell people, if people know it, you told it, because Yolanda not telling it. I'm telling it to God on your behalf. I'm standing in the gap with you. You don't have to worry about I hang up. When we hang up, I'm going to call Jeffrey, Sally. No, repeat offender is a safe haven. But I do talk about real life issues, because we got too much going on in the body of Christ, and we're accepting it because we don't want to tell people the truth. How are we going to get to heaven and get people to heaven if we don't tell them the truth? It's how we tell them. So repeat offender comes on every Wednesday. It tells you at 8 o'clock on Facebook Live. I'm working on getting things done to even take it to another level. This will be our 4th year. God has been faithful. I took people on a journey with me, and they learned a lot. All I want to say as we close, and I thank you, Pastor Anita Spaulding, because I'm telling you, this was good for me. I need people to understand that we love God and we love people. But let me tell you something. Titles is a title. When we get to heaven, he's going to call us by our name. Would our name represent him fully? Because I tell people, oh, we going to see him. I say, show is, girl. I said, but understand, when you see him, there is something that has to be real. It has to be right. So I admonish, because leaders, we hide because we're leaders. I'm admonishing you. True deliverance is a good place. You don't have to tell people your business, but I'm asking God to give everybody somebody that they can really confide in, so that they can get healed, delivered, and set free. So we can stop all these wounded leadership people, period. Just wounding folk. We don't know how to love. Women don't know how to love one another because we too busy being jealous of one another, because we haven't learned how to do real sisterhood, right? A true deliverance will bring that. So repeat offender is that. I'm setting up with counselors, because see, you got to know your lane, because people need spiritual and natural help, and people need to talk to somebody naturally and spiritually with some degrees under their belt that can really help them. So I redirect people. I don't try to be the God in their life. I don't try to be more than what God is calling me, but I can pick up the ground so that people could go in and rebuild, that knows what they're doing. So continue to pray for me, because every day I get up is a good thing. And I tell you, if you want to stay delivered, repent every morning before you pray. Because, we be thinking and saying stuff and whatever. It's, so I do that. And I thank God with my oldest daughter, God is starting to heal some things. because she had a right to be angry because of who I was. So with my baby daughter, so I got a big gap because I was 14 with the first one, and then I had my last one when I was 40. Girl, bye. I did it. It happened. But this child, I'm installing in her what I didn't know how to. So I bless God for each and every one of y'all. I love you, Pastor Spaulding. Thank you for trusting me enough. And I am really transparent because when deliverance come, you free. You can kind of talk about because you're not there. We only hide what we still doing. Thank you.
Right. That's so true. Listen, you've had the privilege of hearing Elder Yolanda Wertz, who is the CEO and founder of Repeat Offenders. And she is, I love it because deliverance is real and people need to be delivered. They want to know what's wrong with them. They need to be delivered. They need hands laid on them and they need the devil cast out of them and so that they can live right. But I thank you so much for sharing your story with us because it is so needed that we would hear. And those of you that's watching tonight, the VIPs, thank God for each and every one of you. I call you the VIPs, very important people. And if you're important to God, then you're important to me. And I'm so glad that I've made acquaintances with even the new ones that have come on this evening. Continue to pray for us. And those of you that desire to be a blessing to a godly woman's view, I already see those of you that's been cash apping during the program. Thank you, as always. It's $WINNN. That's 3 N's, ER123. That's winner with 3 N's, ER123. It's coming across the screen now, or you can Zelle it to 973-332-9712. Thank you so much again from being a part of this platform. And on Wednesday night at 8:00 p.m., Yolanda Wertz will be having Repeat Offenders tomorrow night at 8:00 p.m. Just join in to listen to her. When I can, I do. We are so busy. I mean, up to 12 o'clock at night, we on Zoom calls and carrying on, me and Bishop. And I said, I'm telling you, it's good, you know, because we've extended ourselves and people want to hear what thus saith the Lord through us. And you're going to be back. All right. You're going to be back. And I just want to make this quick announcement, if I can do this, that I will be speaking for a women's conference, the God Who Sees Me Ministry, April the 27th at 8:30 a.m. The registration is only $25. It's at Bethlehem Baptist Church, where my dear sweet friend and sister, Minister Jackie McEady, is the conference host. She's talking about a powerful woman of God. The theme is restoration and renewal, beauty from ashes. Again, the conference fee is only $25, and you could register. Go to my page. I believe that flyer should come up, or it's there somewhere. But it's from 8:30 a.m. to 4:00 p.m. And they got some great things that's going to be happening on that day. The pastor is my god brother, Pastor Glenda Shields. But I tell you, I told them I almost felt Baptist when I went there. Because these folk know how to have church. Y'all hear me?
All right.
And I already have some friends that's registered already. And those say that they're coming. It's in Woodbury, New Jersey, straight down the turnpike. So I like to support other people. And if y'all would support me as I support them, I would be so glad to see you in the house. God bless you. And this again has been A Godly Woman's View with Anita C. Spaulding and her special, beautiful, vivacious, anointed, powerful guest by the name of Elder Yolanda Wertz. And we going shopping one day, girl.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Bye-bye. Love y'all. Love y'all.